Business Brain, episode 688 for Wednesday, October 1st, World Sake Day 2025. Come pie. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take some ideas, we crunch them, we dissect them, we use them to tune our business brains so that each of us does a little bit better each day at living our charmed lives. Here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And I'm back in Lafayette, California. I'm Shannon Jean. Had a great week on the ocean down in San Diego.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Very cool. Yeah. One thing is different if you own vacation rentals. When you walk into someone else's vacation rental, your view is a little different.
Yeah, I bet it is. You're learning and critiquing.
Yeah,
simultaneously.
It was an awesome place. The view, I mean, it was right on the beach. It was great, and I just kept walking around going, "Oh, a guest would complain about that if it was us." And the shower head was like up to my shoulder, right? So one of those things where I had to bend over backwards.
Oh, and yeah.
I wanted to tell I didn't because my wife handles everything with this stuff. But I was like, "Hey, tell him to just spend $15 and get that shower extender." So that if we stay here again, I wouldn't have to get on my knees to
do the shower limbo.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's just like
nobody wants to do shower
it's
limbo.
It's like a $3 million house, and if you're under 5 feet, it's awesome. But
that's right. Yeah.
If you're over 5 feet, it was a little rough on the head.
But just so everybody has some context, you were in San Diego, so pretty much anything that keeps the rain out and the heat in is a $3 million house to start. Yeah,
right on the beach, that's for sure. Anything that's right. A block from the ocean.
Well, I was going to say not even right on the beach. Within a block. Yeah. So we rented a cottage in San Diego that sort of had a bedroom upstairs, but you wouldn't ever go up there. Yeah. And it was and this was 10 years ago, and it was a $2.5 million house. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's just how it is. Like, I mean, it's it's how it is.
It's just how it is.
But there's something interesting in this topic that you unintentionally brought up.
Yes.
And that's the idea of whenever possible going and being a customer at your competitors' businesses.
Yeah. Or even your own, because like one of the things my wife said.
If you can with your own,
Yeah, my wife made the comment, she's like, "Oh, they don't notice those things because they never stay here." Right?
Yeah, we've said that before too. Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah, but you're right. Going and using your customers,
your competitors.
Your competitors. Like when I was trying to learn how to sell handbags, which I know nothing about, and I have no business in that business, I bought from everybody I could find that I thought was doing a great job, and to learn how to do it. So it's trying to understand, I don't think you should focus on your competitors like a ton to a distraction, but definitely using their services to see how they do things better or worse, or how you could improve, especially the ones that you think are killing it. Like one of the things I see a lot online is people judging, I guess maybe this is a human condition. They judge other businesses from their outside. And then they judge their own business from the inside. And they're like, "Oh, these guys are killing it. They're doing $5 million and I'm doing this and that." And maybe that comment that you said about, using the other service that allows you to kind of realize like, "Oh, they shipped late. Oh, okay." Or, "Oh, they didn't include this, or they screwed this up." And
right.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, there's value to that. And I mean, like I
think so.
We were already selling ads on the web. This is now, 20 something years ago.
Just take 10 off. It's okay.
It's relevant though. Cause we wanted to expand Backbeat Media into podcasting. And smart. I thought, okay, well, we have our street cred in the web business, but no one in the podcast world knows who we are. I mean, maybe they do if we start, pitching like, "Oh, our company was started by the same team that founded Mac Observer," and but now you gotta get them on the hook to be able to pitch them. And so it was like, all right, how do I just get people to take my calls in the first place? And it was like, well, two things. A, I don't know anyone in the podcast business, and I also don't know how podcast advertising works. I mean, I know how advertising works, but not specifically the mechanics of podcast advertising. So I went in and I was like, I'm going to buy some ads on some podcasts to promote
exactly.
we were starting we started iPod Observer at Mac Observer or whatever. So I was like,
Yep.
hey, I'm Dave at Mac Observer. We're starting this new property. I want to promote it on, on your podcast, because at that moment in time, everybody listened to podcasts on iPods. And that's how I got to know people. And that was how the first 5 podcasts for Backbeat Media came on board, because I bought from them, did the whole thing, and then told them, okay, here's the deal. If I had sold that ad for you, I would take a cut and you would bet more money in your pocket. And they're like, seriously?
Nice.
They're like, yeah, you're underselling yourself. You're not doing it right. Here's the right way. I mean, it was a little more tactful than that, but not really.
That's not their core business, right?
It's not. Yeah, you do your thing. And I explained to them why our business started, and, the whole deal. But I already had them on the hook because I'd paid them money.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. I read a newsletter from somebody that I like, and one of the ways that they got people's attention was sending cold emails, and they said, hey, are you in this business? I have either a service to offer you, or if you're an expert, I'd like to pay you to come speak at an event.
Yes.
And so it was this, wait, you're selling me something, but hold on a second. You're also offering to pay me if I'm knowledgeable about this stuff. And I thought that was just a really unique way to get people's attention, instead of just always trying to sell them something or ask for something.
That's kind of brilliant. I like this. Yep.
Me too. That's kind of good. You mentioned something before we started talking about having to sell a car. I'm in the same boat.
I'll explain my deal. But but I also just sold like 3 or 4 old iPhones on eBay, and went through that process too. Yeah. It was time. I had, I should have done it a year ago, but
I have a
whatever.
bunch of it too.
Yeah, exactly. And I decided I wanted the new orange iPhone Pro, and I'm like, well, I have no need for this. And I have a stack of iPhones. So if I can sell those and get 80% of what an iPhone, the new iPhone Pro costs, then it's fine, because I get rid of this e-waste. Somebody else, I'm repurposing it, and I get a new phone. So
I like it.
It was just the incentive to get my attention, because otherwise it was like whatever. But we are generally a 3-car family.
Okay.
And we have the car that my wife and I each have a car that we drive, and then our son, who doesn't, he lives with us some of the time. He has his place over on the other side of the state. We continue to provide him a car, right? So it's fine, because we can, and it's something we can do for him. Yeah. We knew our daughter was coming home for this past summer when I replaced my vehicle in the spring, and so it was like, well, do we not trade this in? Do we remain a 4-car family for the summer and then deal with selling this car now? And the problem with, and so that's what we decided. It's like, okay, great. Because, we'll probably lose $1,000 or something on this whole thing but we're getting use out of it.
But you have it all summer. Yeah.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's super, super inexpensive to, considering what it gave us. So we did that. And my wife wanted to take over for the process. And I was like, great. She's like, I looked at the Kelley Blue Book value. It's a 2015 Subaru Legacy, and so it was worth Kelley was like, you could trade it in for $6,000, or you could probably sell it on your own for $8,000 or something.
Okay.
$7,500.
Right. Nice.
Okay, great. So she's like, all right, well, I don't want to deal with the headache. I'm just going to take the 6. I'm like, well, okay, but you don't know that let's see what happens, right? Put
it up. Yeah.
Let's see what happens. And so she did. She went down to the dealer, and the dealer's like, I'll give you $45,000 for it.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Of course. And she's like, I need 6. And they're like, we'll give you $45,000. So they're not interested in this vehicle. Right. I mean, it's a 10-year-old car. They don't want this thing. They're probably just going to sell it off at their own auction. They got to make some money.
Have you checked those other Carvana and those kind of sites?
No, that's the next step, is that, or I told her, I'm like, put it on Facebook Marketplace, and, we can sell it to a college student, and it's the beginning of the semester, and let's go, So,
Carvana is really interesting in the sense that I was going to take, time before, when I was my wife needed a new car, and she had Audi, a Q7, and we were going to I was like, okay, we'll like do this thing. And it was during COVID, so it was hard to get some of these new cars, right?
Yes, right.
And when we were negotiating, and I do all my negotiating via text, so I have everything in writing.
Okay.
With the dealer guy, which is great.
Yep.
Or woman. And when we got down talking about trading, he goes, "Do you have a trade?" And I said, "Yeah, I have this car." And he goes, "Go to Carvana because I can't give you as much as they will." I'm like, "You don't even know what it is." He goes, "It doesn't matter." And so sure enough, I went to Carvana and I did it. And he goes, "What did they tell you?" And I think it was like, I don't know, $13,000 or something like that. And he goes, "Yeah, I would have offered you like 9." And I still think that's the case. And I think it's real quick. You just do a quick thing.
Yep.
And I was shocked. They came and picked up this car and they sent a big truck to your house and they walk over, they confirm the VIN on the car.
Yep.
They don't do any kind of inspection, at least in my case. She walked over, she handed a cashier's check to my wife and it was a woman who picked it up. She pulled the car on and we never saw our car. I'm like, man, get to the bank because
run
right now.
Yeah,
right. But it was amazing, and they're doing really well now. They tanked, their stock went down to like $2, but now it's back to like 200 or something.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I definitely would be interested to compare your Carvana experience, or there's a couple other ones.
CarMax, I think, will do it, but that's a different.
Shift is another one, I think.
Oh, okay.
So we do all three, and I have a vehicle I need to sell too. Mine's a little more specialized. This is Jeep that's got all this bells and whistles.
Got it.
It's a Wrangler.
Yep.
And so I'm going to sell mine on bringatrailer.com.
Okay.
Which is an auction site for all kinds of vehicles are sold there, but a little more specialized.
Sure.
And it attracts people. And quite frankly, the main reason I'm going to sell it on there is because I don't want people coming to my house test driving this thing. I mean, it test drives great. It's in great shape and it's perfect. I just don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't want to deal with people coming and driving it and negotiating me down. So I'm willing to sell it and then you ship it anywhere.
And then just ship it anywhere. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yep. That's interesting. And so what's this? I'm finding links because I want to put them in the show notes for everybody, but also for me. So what is this Shift thing? Because the only Shift I found is Shift Auto Group in Canada. And I don't think that's what we're talking about.
No, maybe. Let me take a look here. Let's see. Shift car sales.
Shift versus Carvana. I
So
I did that just to try.
Driveway.com came up.
Okay.
But Shift doesn't come up. Maybe they're gone.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, they filed for bankruptcy in 2023. Yeah,
there it is.
Let's But there's a
pour one out for
ones.
Shift.
Yeah.
Driveway.com you said was one?
Driveway.com. We'll buy your vehicle. Yeah.
Interesting.
Instant offer that's good for 7 days. What I liked about it is it's like getting an insurance quote or something.
Exactly.
You just get these numbers and, like when I bought a new truck over Christmas, I went to Carvana. I had an older truck, a 2018, and they said, okay, we'll give you, $18,000 for it.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's pretty good. So when I negotiated for my truck, the new truck, they say, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, Carvana, and of course I marked it up $1,000. I said, Carvana said they'd give me 19. And he goes, okay, I'll give you 19. And I said, great. So it was good. But one of the things, if you're buying cars, is to talk to people about it, because there's all kinds of these crazy incentives, right? I talked about it on the show. A guy gave me his supplier. He worked for some steel company and I saved like $5,000 off my truck. And then Costco has $1,000 instant discount. And you always bring that up after you negotiate stuff. You say, oh, by the way.
100%. You bring all of that up when you're talking to the finance person.
Yeah.
Once right? By the way, you negotiate the whole deal. Yeah. And they'll tell you, the finance person will say, well, we're two separate departments. I can't touch that. And I said, that sounds great to me, but to me, you're all the same.
Yeah.
I'm either buying a car from the building here, or I'm not.
The sales department or
it doesn't matter to me. So I don't care what you do to get us there. If you got to screw the other department, even better. I'm on board with it. Yeah. And they don't usually like it when you sort of embrace their separation and try and create a divide.
Yeah, that's right. And the other. This is not a car buying episode, but it's kind of interesting. The other thing that has helped me is to involve some sort of constraint when you're talking or at the dealer and telling them what that constraint is before you go. Like, for example, I have an appointment at 3:00. I'll come down and meet you at 1, but I'm leaving at 2:45 or whatever. I have this, I have that. I've got to go do this, so that you're in control of your time. Otherwise, the dealer is trying to wait you out, right?
Yes.
They're trying to get you frustrated, not frustrated, but they're just back
it's part
and
of the
forth,
process.
Part of the
they're
process.
there all day, no matter what.
Yeah, so you'll just finally be like, fine, I'll take whatever. I got to get out of here.
I got to go.
So when like I bought my truck last time, it was Christmas Eve. And
it's the best time to buy a car too.
Yeah, and I said, hey, I'll come down, I'll buy that car. We negotiate some pricing and all that kind of stuff. And the last thing that got me down is said, okay, I'll come down and buy it, but I need a bed cover. Can you get me a bed cover for that car? Because that's like $500. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll get it. Go ahead, just go. But I said I have to leave by 1:00 because it's
Christmas Eve. Yeah.
And I got out of there about 1:15, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
So
that's in general, that's a nice thing to do. When I get a call, especially if I get a cold call from someone that I pick up, there's a whole thing that I go through with this, but I will start by saying, if it's a cold call and I have a sense that it's like a spam call, I'll answer the phone and it'll be like, Shannon, thanks so much for calling. And they'll be like, what? And I'll be like, oh, I thought you were my 2:30 call with Shannon.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Oh, and now they're kind of on their heels.
Yeah.
And they know now that I have something that I'm expecting to be doing right now that's not talking with them. And so they get to the point very quickly. And if I choose to talk to them, or especially if it's, one of our customers or something that I just don't recognize the phone number, at that point I can say, great, you know what? Give me a second. Let me text Shannon and tell him I'm going to be 20 minutes late.
Yeah, that's good.
And now I'm making time
you
for
control
you.
Your time. Yeah.
But I'm also sending the message that I've just chosen to prioritize who is on the phone, right? It's a subtle message, but it's like, oh, okay, great. Like, let me clear some time for you.
Yep.
But I'm also putting that clock on, like, I've got to call Shannon in 20 minutes now.
I like it. One of the best things I ever did was take my discovery call or initial call to have a talk from 30 minutes to 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Because the same thing. I can, if it doesn't go well, if it doesn't sound like it's a fit, if it doesn't like good, it's 15 minutes and I'm out.
Yeah.
But if it sounds good, or if it's something that's interesting, or I'm learning, or we have a good connection, that I can just let's just keep going, because I really have a half hour.
Yes.
And I notice that people are like, hey, I know we don't have a lot of time. Let's get right to it. I'm like, great, let's go.
Get right to it. Yes.
Yeah. So I would say don't book 30-minute calls, book 15-minute calls, and extend them if you need it.
I generally will book 20-minute calls.
That's good. Yeah.
But something with a buffer so that I can choose what to do with that time.
You get that extra 10 minutes or extra 15 minutes, and the key is, and I've learned this a lot, we've talked about it on the show a lot, is taking back control of your time where you make the decision, and also that like your point, prioritize it. That's a big indicator when you're talking to people.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself so readily available.
Right. Be reachable, but not readily available. I think, and there's a balance there, obviously. I want to go back to one thing that you said before we wrap up here about using Carvana as your safety net. I wound up doing the same thing when selling my iPhones. I went to Gazelle.
Okay.
Yeah. And because Gazelle is like a wholesaler or whatever, and they'll pick up.
Still around. Gosh, they've been around.
They are.
Forever.
Yeah, they've been around forever. And there's other companies like them.
Yeah.
Apple will do it too with iPhones. But what I've found with Apple is they'll give you a price, you send it in, and they almost always with me will come back and say,
lower?
"Oh, it's 20% less than that."
Oh, I hate that.
And
that's
I've had that happen with the others too, but not Apple. It's
really?
Like it's the rule. Yeah. And their advertised prices are generally a little higher than the others, but they don't actually pay those prices. So I don't like to go through the headache.
Interesting.
So I go to Gazelle because by and large, Gazelle will give me what they told me they were going to give me, assuming that my description of the product was accurate. Right. Of course.
Okay. Yep.
And so I go to Gazelle before I list it on eBay. And now I know what's my baseline. I know that I got to be 14% above that because eBay, and the shipping and the headache and all that stuff, so maybe I want to be 25% above that, whatever it is. But but it just lets me, it puts me in a position of control. It's like, okay, well, let me see if I can get more for it than I would get on Gazelle with minimal headache.
And did you get more for it? A lot more or
a lot more in both cases, in three cases. Yeah. I had four phones to sell. One of them had a cracked everything. So that just went to Gazelle. I wasn't interested in dealing with that, but
no, that's cool.
But the other three, I got more, but I had a floor and I had people ask me, sent in offers like, here's this. I'm like, no, here's the price. And then somebody was like, eventually somebody was like, I'll take it.
Yeah. Great. So the takeaway, like this episode is we're talking about deal making, but it's deal making in the buy side and the sell side
and the sell side
because it's not enough just to make more money or whatever. You got to be smart about the things that you do with it. Whether it's how do I legally pay less taxes, how do I maximize all my write-offs, or how do I sell these things that I talk about reselling all the time. I always tell people, just walk around your house. You don't need to go buy anything.
No.
I guarantee you. Or take your phone and walk around and I'll point out things you should sell.
I got you.
Yeah. Because I just know it's like, oh, you see that thing's in demand. You should go search for that kind of stuff. We all have stuff in our garage, our house, or our yard that you could sell. And so, that's where you start. Yeah, that's where you start. It's good.
Yeah, you probably have 10 grand worth of stuff without thinking about it.
Yeah, there's some sort of study that like eBay did that said the average person has, $4,000 or $5,000 worth of stuff that they could sell quickly and make money.
I think if you're listening to this show, you've got about 10 grand. Easy.
Yeah, I would say that's true.
Without taking anything out of its useful life for you, like things that you are truly no longer using and are just like e-waste or some form of waste.
Drawer full of iPhones, iPods, that kind of thing. I had a lady this week in our reseller group that bought 2 pallets of books from govdeals.com and has sold those over the summer for $5,000. She bought the 2 pallets for $1. I was so excited. I was like, you're out of your mind. Great. I thought that was amazing, And another guy, just wrap this up real quick, but another guy gets free couches from Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
Cleans them up, films time-lapse of him cleaning and even like stitching and sewing the thing. And since he started in January, and he has sold 92 couches out of his garage, out of his driveway. And I'm so thrilled for this guy. This guy's a weatherman up on the West Coast, and he took this on. He saw some stuff I posted, and then I've talked to him a couple times, and he just posted, I've sold 92 couches, and basically all of them are free. And I just like, dude, that just impresses me so much that people are willing to do that to change, to start something new.
The video is the brilliant part of this because not only does it give the eventual customer the peace of mind that like this thing has been refurbished and I can trust it in my home and all that. It's also great marketing because who doesn't want to sit and watch a couch restoration, time-lapse video?
It stops the scroll.
It stops the scroll.
Yeah,
it sure does.
It's great. So those are all deal mate. If you're going to sell your car, do a time-lapse video of you washing it or getting it all prepped. Do the time-lapse video of you doing the detailing. Right?
Yeah.
Using the vacuum, scrubbing, waxing, whatever you're going to do. And that should be the first thing you post in your marketplace post. Because as everybody else is scrolling around seeing photos of cars and trucks, they'll go, wait, what's that? And I think Marketplace puts the videos first automatically. I'm not sure, but I think they do. So I definitely recommend that. You want to get attention.
Oh, that's so brilliant.
Yeah. Everything. What is that? Somebody once said, every business is in the content business now.
Every business is in the content. I think it was you that said that. Did I say that?
One of the other.
I don't know. It was on this show. Yeah,
it was. I guarantee that much I know.
Maybe if you know, to let us know, feedback at businessbrain.show because we can't remember anything, but you can, and we appreciate that. So yeah, let us know. And if you have anything else, let us know. And if you would, please go to businessbrain.show/review and give us a review for the show. We'd love 5 stars. We've talked about why that's flawed, and yet we're going to ask for it anyway. So businessbrain.show/review, that is our ask for today. And in addition, of course, to please just stay subscribed. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you on Friday. Keep living that charmed life.
See ya.